I'm at one of my favoured locations today. It's a garden centre and a workshop garden centre, the one that's turned up a number of species of flatworms, 4 in all, if I remember. But it's also proved to be worthwhile and rewarding when coming in looking for millipedes. And I have a sneaky feeling that the millipedes that are in here are going to be another that we haven't seen before in Nottinghamshire. So rather than muck about here with them, I need to take these home, photograph them, and then see if we can sort out an identification. But these look particularly interesting. Well, back home now, I've rehoused the quarry, the unknown millipedes. They've been in here after having been photographed. Turned out to be very interesting, and the process of identification began and ended up taking me down a completely wrong road. I'll explain that more in a minute, but with them being a pallid colour, that sort of creamy, pale, almost colourless type, I was looking at those pallid millipedes that we have here in the UK and also in Nottinghamshire, and I drew a blank. I went through again and again, and even tried to key them out, but these wouldn't key out. I presumed that the largest one, the obviously largest one that you'll see shortly, was indeed adult. Far from it. It's nowhere near adult yet. It's got several molts to go by the looks of it. I began looking at the few species of pallid millipede that we have in Nottinghamshire, and looked at Brachychaetuma, especially Bagnalli, but the shape and everything wasn't right for them anyway, and I looked at Melagona, and it wasn't Melagona. What could it be? It wasn't Ophiodesmus species. I looked, and I looked again. I went through the photo galleries of all the species on the BMIG's website, and then it twigged. I was looking through all the species and came across Oxydus gracilis, a species, incidentally, which I found new to Nottinghamshire at the back end of 2022 at a garden centre at Mapley in Nottingham. On there was a photo, and the photo showed the millipedes that I had here, and these turned out to be Oxydus gracilis. It's predominantly a species of southern parts of the UK and quite often turns up in garden centres. It has now twice in Nottinghamshire. Within the space of a few months, Nottinghamshire's gone from not having any records of Oxydus gracilis to now having 2 at either end of the county. I'm quite chuffed in a way, if not slightly disappointed. I was hoping it would be something a bit more sort of niche, a bit more rare and exciting. But to find a second county record is something. And Oxydus gracilis is quite a fascinating and remarkable looking millipede. Amongst the Nottinghamshire fauna, there's nothing else like it. At least I haven't found anything like it yet. I'm still convinced that there's several species of millipedes waiting to be discovered in Nottinghamshire. That's the usual case, nobody's looking. Now, you might not get to see these for very long, but they are under this moss-covered piece of bark. Well, there's 3 of them. The largest one is at the bottom there. That one is just over 1 centimetre in length. The one that's on this piece of wood here is about 8 or 9 mil maybe. They all have that distinct sort of dark gut line, and difficult to mistake these for anything else really in Nottinghamshire. Even any of the immatures of the flat-backed millipedes, the polydesmus species, they're very different. They don't show a gut line like this, and they tend to be a much paler, almost white coloration. But you can see one there is making a run for it. There are 4 altogether. The larger one, is quite a size difference, and possibly a molt ahead of the other 3, which are the size of this one. Excuse my grubby finger. So I will be growing these on. I do like to grow things on. I suppose the larger one could be mistaken for Nanogona polydesmoides, which is a pale brown species of flat-backed millipede, but structurally it's different to what we have in front of us. Seems we've only got one in front of us. But anyway, turned out to be juvenile Oxydus gracilis, and the 2nd record for Nottinghamshire. Another little mystery solved.